All right, guys, back in the house with one of the original OG Sevenistas, Will Plummer. Dude, so good to have you here. Was so happy that I got to meet you randomly at the games. I don't even know how. I wouldn't even have known, like, it was you if I just passed you.
Well, I think what it was is I was like walking into the venue and I saw you guys hanging out playing with your kid in like an alley, like throwing around. I don't know what were you throwing around, like
A football.
and like I like went up to wave like, oh, and then I was like, wait, they don't actually like know who I am, so it's just I don't even know if you saw, and then I just kept walking. I was like, that was weird, and
It was
then
so cool.
I think I saw you with like Judy,
And Jody.
Reed, and Jody just like hanging out at the front of the venue, and then I was like, all right, I just got to go introduce myself.
Well, I had just watched you because you had just been on Kill Taylor. Like you were in a parking lot doing Kill Taylor in a parking lot.
Yeah, it was. I got a couple of people that weekend that just came up to me. They're like, "You were on Kill Taylor," and then I was like, "Yeah," but I wish it was for like winning it, not just, you know, doing it at a gas station.
No, that was even better than winning it. Like that was more exciting. I wish I could have seen it like on a big screen. I should
You
go
could
back.
have seen it live if you were at the gas station.
I did.
I mean, what motivates you to just do Kill Taylor at a gas station? Is it legit just the bragging rights, the money? Like, what is it that made you just throw down in a parking lot?
I think yeah, like one, it's like I love the show and I love what they do, and I feel like I know Taylor and them pretty well. I've been doing Sentinel since it started, right? When Taylor had like it was just an Instagram page, and you paid him like $7 to like beta test basically. And I saw the workout and I had a 100-pound sandbag in the trunk for whatever reason, and I was like, okay, I guess I'm just gonna do my workout today at the gas station because I've been driving for probably like 8 hours at that point.
Oh God, hold on. I think we're all going to talk about the mess that happened today. So let's just talk about the mess.
Hi guys.
Oh, we didn't know you were live. We were just going to jump in and say hi really quick.
No,
dorks.
You guys are here.
What's up, guys?
Hey, Will. I've
Hello,
seen
Will.
you for ages. Do you know that Will used to be in a group chat with me?
Yeah, we were talking about that. So let's go. What's Heidi? What's the mess? What's up, dude? Let me just
Garrett,
say,
your mic's shit.
what?
Is it yours, Colleen? Yours is shit as well, Colleen.
Oh man.
It sounds quite tinny, echoey.
Really?
Should we just take over? All right.
Hold on.
Yeah, let's kick him off.
Whatever.
Get your shirt off, Will.
Let's take your shirt off. Is it really?
I was so tempted to jump on Hobart's episode. I was sitting here at the computer like, oh, I'm just going to fucking go on and just ask him something.
No, they say that it still sounds like shit.
Really?
Is that a pegboard behind you, Will?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and it's on plywood in his living room.
Mm-hmm. I had one of the engineers at my work. He had been like, it's funny how like people have their weird like fitness things that they get into, and he's just like a really great puller, and he has a pegboard at home. He didn't have the plyboard behind it, right? He just does legless. And then I was like, can you make me one? And I was kind of hounding him for it. And then he finally got to it. And I was like, I need the plywood like behind so I can use my legs. He's like, why do you use your legs? I'm like, that just don't ask.
Right.
Does it still sound like, do we still sound?
No, that's better. That's better now.
Do it. Okay, I got it.
Hello.
Well, that's better.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Right, should we leave you to it now?
No, I want to hold on because Will's OG too. So
okay. You've got me for like as long as I can hold my bladder. You've got me for 2 seconds. I'm going to take out my earphones.
Can't you just go pee
just
outside?
in case I need to run?
Go pee outside.
Isn't that what Sevon does? Pull Sevon.
No, I can't do anything.
I just watched this is why I was explaining this to Will. You guys, dudes are awesome because I watched the greatest prize fight in the chat today on your show. And then by 45 minutes, they're like, I love you. Let's work out. I miss you. I need you. Like, it was the greatest turnaround of all time. No way women do that. No shot. There's no shot. 45 minutes later, you're good.
Betty Lang,
No.
Savon goes outside and sits down when he
Good.
How do you guys do it? How do you
I just tried to ignore it.
Oh, okay.
Pee outside?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I tried to ignore the chat.
Well, our son did ask me if I stand up when I pee. I said, no, baby, I sit down. He's like, why do you sit down? I said, because I don't have a penis.
I love to sit down and pee.
Me too.
Barry, what's up, dude? Nothing happened. Dude, it was the greatest. Barry, you were all like, that was the greatest showdown I've ever seen. And then it was just like, everything's all love.
I didn't read any of it, I'll be honest.
What are they mad about? Is it like,
I don't know.
It's
is it like the doxing thing? Is it what?
I don't know.
All I will say, right, because I'm not getting into this whole back and forth, but the doxing stuff is complete. It was that's taken completely out of context, and it was a joke.
Yeah,
and nothing was like revealed in that chat about anyone's address.
Well, it's like
that.
who like wants to know like really about like like where Semonista lives or what their car looks like, right? Like that's a weird thing to.
No one.
It's not a Daniel Brandon situation, right? Like,
no. And the guy was in the chat, like he knew it was a joke.
So wait, who CrossFit? So wait, who was the rat? We don't know. We just don't know, and nobody really cares.
Yeah, who cares?
Nobody cares. The best part was, I think, in the chat, in your guys' chat, and then I'll let you go pee on. But the best one, I forget who. Shoot, I forget who asked. Oh, it was Corey.
Did you just say peon?
No, did I?
I'll let you peons go.
My bad. I forget who peed on it. No, I forget who said it, but I think it was Corey Leonard. If I'm wrong, Corey, I'm sorry. But he was just like, I didn't even know there was a rat until this morning when my whole chat blew up and the chat was gone. It's like nobody knows.
Yeah. I don't know if the chat's even still there. I got kicked from it, so I don't know.
Damn. Oh yeah, that was you. Okay, cool. That was fire.
Corey's a good dude.
He is a good dude. All right, guys, I'll let you go.
Corey's got the beard. Oh, I've got a question about trans men, by the way.
Oh god.
Okay.
I'm so sorry, Will. I promise this will get back.
You're all good.
It's my last question, and I'll fuck off. Do trans men have a say in women's rights?
They shouldn't.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know. I thought about it earlier in the gym. It just came across my mind. I just wanted to ask your opinion. All right, okay, good.
I want to tell Will my joke from the other night.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you stayed long enough to hear it, but Will, how do you stop a dog humping your leg?
How?
You pick it up and suck it.
Oh my!
All right, I'll let you go.
Good mic drop.
Bye.
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 Yes. Oh my god!
This is what happens when you give two dudes the entrance to your back end.
Yeah. I was really hoping you were gonna go there with. If you didn't go there with that, I was gonna go with that. I was gonna finish the sentence. Oh my.
Oh shit, dude.
Oh man.
So yeah, that was the fun. Oh, Pat. Oh, CrossFit. Yeah, I'm not gonna read that, but you're right. I shouldn't have said. Yeah, I shouldn't have said that. My bad. The peon. My fault. I shouldn't have said that. Dude, how did you? The CrossFit Games was awesome. We all had a great time. Got to meet you. Did you get to see a lot of the people in the chat that you knew? Because there was a bunch of them out there.
Yeah. I mean, Judy and Jody. I feel like I saw Judy and her daughter after like every event, like walking, right? Just because like as you'd leave to go kind of down to that little front area, you just run into people there. Saw you guys. I'm trying to think. Like I met like a bunch of people that just came up, like kind of just like too many to really remember like names and whatnot. But now I have them. Like I think I like met a bunch on it, like followed them on Instagram and stuff like that. I love the games, right? Like I think I said when I called in that it just feels like a family reunion. And whenever you come back, you get more family.
Yep.
And that's like the one place where you see all those people, unless they go to a different competition or something.
Is it weird for you when people come up and they're like, "Hey, well, what's up?" And you kind of look at them like, "And you are who exactly?"
Not really, because I feel like that's me, right? Like I do that a lot to people too. Like when I first went to the games, I went by myself. The weekend before went and got my L1 in Madison, stayed with my buddy who lived there, and then that whole next week I camped. So basically, I was there Monday through Sunday, by myself, and would just walk up and meet people. And like the podcast was still pretty early on then, and Sevon and Brian were like on good terms. So like I would just kind of like follow. I'd go up to Brian and be like, "Well, what's happening with your boy Jason Hopper?" Right? Because he was picked to like win it and knock it out of the park that year, and he was not having a good time. So just like things like that, and I mean Sousa, and I'd go up and meet them and just introduce myself. So I get it when you're meeting people for the first time.
You're one of the OGs like Heidi, right? We talked a little bit about this, but you were one of the ones when they were, I guess the Wadapalooza stream went down that year. I forget.
Yep.
Do you remember what year it was? I forget.
It was 22. So yeah, they were talking about it. Sevon was talking about it. It was when he was sponsored by the Liver King. It was the Liver King days.
Yes.
And it was Sousa and Caleb. And then it was like me, Heidi. I think there were 2 others at the start, but both the other people that were doing it got like booted that day, like day 1, because they kind of like got in some event organizer's face and they're like, "Yo, like I'm here with Sevon," and they were like trying to like walk into the media area and I don't know, kind of big dick everyone.
No.
So they got booted, and then we had like a little heart to heart before one of the shows, and Sevon's like, "Listen," like kind of like straighten everyone out that was still there, and he's like, "You're here because I trust you." And then it was great. It was fun.
Oh wait, Trish. Oh, that was me and Sevon's first fight. Ancestral supplements.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, was Bruce Wayne? Was he with you guys?
Yep. He was there. I met him there.
Daniel Garrity. Sorry, bro. Yeah, Bruce Wayne. Yeah,
I don't know if Bruce was.
Was he a camera?
At that time, but I know I met him there. He might have been.
Because you and there was definitely a Heidi cam. There was definitely a Plummer cam.
Yep.
Because I didn't even know your first name for the longest time. I just knew Plummer.
I don't think Sevon knows my first name. Now he does, but for a while, like I'd have to say, "Oh, hey, Sevon, it's Will," and he's like, and then I'd say Plummer, so then he'd know. But
he has to remember so many people, so it's probably easier for him to just pick one name.
I get it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And your last name is not common, at least in the chat. So saying that is probably like, "Oh yeah, that's who you are." You know.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like walking around with Sousa and Caleb? And
it was like how it went for me is like I was competing in the scaled men's division at the time, and that was my like first CrossFit competition. So I would do an event and then like run to wherever the Brandstetter was there. Or he was on the back end, but I just like hop onto the link if it was live, and I would just go try to find an angle. You kind of felt empowered a little bit, right? Because you were doing the behind the scenes. So I remember before I was like, that was the first time I sat down and like rewatched all of like the games behind the scenes. And I like took like notes on the athletes of who I thought would be like a dark horse or whatnot, and wrote out this long thing for each event and sent it over to Sevon. And then I'd like walk up to people and just like kind of try to do the thing. Awkwardly, I think I went up to Roman after an event win or like try to talk to him, and like he doesn't even speak English. I've never interviewed anyone before, and I'm just like, "Hey, good job," fist bump, right? Like after the event with the camera in his face.
Ambitious. You gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. But it was a blast.
Will is like 6'14". He's easy to find in a crowd. You're not that tall, dude. Corey, you're just you're 5'6", bro. Like
Corey's 5'6".
I met Corey for the first time at the Masters Fitness collective in Fort Wayne, Indiana. So he was competing there. Yeah. Random. Sorry.
No, you're good. Joseph, he was taller than me.
Yeah,
Who?
met Joseph.
Oh, yep. Plummer. So do you guys do you guys hang out? Are you and Heidi and like Brandstetter or whatever, you guys just all hanging out at the end of the day? Like, holy crap, that was a long ass day.
I feel like it was like me and Heidi would kind of hang out with each other, and then I would find, but I think Heidi was there with the group too, right? And I was with my mom, so like my mom was a trooper for it, of just like letting me kind of go off and run around, and she'd sit behind me as I'm holding a camera like up against the guardrails for 2 hours of the heats, and that was her first. She didn't do CrossFit at the time, so that was her first competition she had been to, and so she's like, what is going on right now? Like, why are you so obsessed with helping out this like podcast and holding a camera, right? Like, not like recovering or enjoying the experience. But I loved it. I had a blast.
Yeah, like telling your family members that you're obsessed with the Sevon podcast and like you run around and watch everything and see everything. It's kind of like telling them you're obsessed with CrossFit. Like, why are you obsessed with this weird ass thing? But you just are.
Mm-hmm.
And what is this Sevon podcast?
Yeah.
What does this mean?
Yeah, who is this guy? He's like, well, like he was the media director for CrossFit, and then now he does this thing of his own, and it's kind of like hard to explain that he's like still the media director of CrossFit.
So did you know Sev back when he was the media with CrossFit, or did you find Sev when he started his own podcast?
I found him through when he started his own podcast. So
okay.
I think it was. What was your question?
No, I was gonna ask how long before you found Sevon did you find CrossFit?
So I kind of found CrossFit like new and started like doing CrossFit. When I was in basic training, I had a kid in my platoon who he was like, you're kind of like Matt Frazier meatball build, right? But was just a tank at everything. Could run, push ups, sit ups, the whole 9 yards. And I kind of just like went up to him. I'm like, dude, like, what do you do? And he's like, I do CrossFit. And I was like, can you write me some workouts? So like, cause I got basic training, you don't have any, like in your free time, you can work out, you can write letters or read letters or read your Bible, right? Like that's it. Like you can't bring any other books, you can any religious book, right? So I think he like wrote me like 4 different workouts. I think one of them was Cindy on like a piece of paper and kind of just handed it to me. And I was like, okay, cool. Like this is sweet. So like kind of like knew about it then. And then I played.
Wait, hold on. You're in the military? What branch?
I'm in the Army Reserves.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. I did know that. It always just Army Reserves, or you did like active duty first and then?
Yeah. So out of high school, kind of like knowing this was the route I wanted to go, enlisted in the reserves, knowing that I wanted to switch over and do ROTC in college. And there's like a special scholarship. I think it's called the Minutemen Scholarship, where if you're in the reserves and like simultaneously you're doing ROTC, you can get like a 3 or a 4 year scholarship off of that. If you like start the process early, if I was like really smart, I would have been in like my junior year applying for like just a straight up ROTC scholarship. So I wouldn't have had to go the reserves, and then like I could have just done ROTC, got my school paid for, and commissioned as either active duty or reserves. But it's a program that's like set up so that the reserves gets officers. So I didn't have a choice at the end of like college, where normally it's like, okay, you can go active duty, National Guard, or the reserves. For me, it was, you're just going to go to the reserves and you can kind of like pick your job from there.
CrossFit, why not OCS? Yeah, officer. Shoot, help me out.
I didn't have a college degree at the time, right? So you need a college degree.
Oh, right.
Go
Yeah,
to
yeah.
OCS. So
Officer candidate school. Sorry.
Graduated high school, and I played lacrosse through high school and in college, but I knew I wanted to play lacrosse. So like looking at schools, my dad I think we were like driving, and he's like, hey, like I was looking at all these schools trying to get recruited, and I was good, but I wasn't good enough to get a scholarship athletically. So he's like, you should like consider like one of the service academies, like go to Navy or West Point or whatnot. I'm like, I'm not getting in a Navy or West Point. And it was my senior year already. You have to do that like years in advance. So I was like, all right, like, what about ROTC? Because he's like, I can help you out with a state school, but like if you want to go to anywhere else, it's like, I don't want you to go and do a bunch of debt. So you should consider this. So I like called the recruiting office and recruited myself essentially and was like, hey, like, I want to learn about ROTC, not knowing that like an Army recruiter is different than like calling your like university ROTC department and asking for information, right? So like, oh yeah, come on in. And I kind of got sold like the whole bill. And then like, I'm really grateful for what I chose, but I definitely did maybe a little bit more than I had to get like an ROTC scholarship. So
That's awesome.
went to basic, enlisted as a 88 hotel, which is a cargo specialist. So essentially it's like packing connexes and moving connexes.
Where was your basic?
Fort Jackson.
Oh, yeah. I would have been there if I went military police, but I didn't go military police. So I was at Lost in the Woods.
You were?
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
crazy, dude. It was insane.
I bet. I was this past, I went to Leonard Wood in March we had a best squad competition at my unit. And so I went with some of the people that were doing the train up for that.
Oh, that's cool.
So I haven't visited that before, but it's kind of, it's out there. It's in the middle of nowhere.
Well, and then when I went to, I was in Sierra Vista at Huachuca for school. So that was the most crazy eye-opening one for me. Like Sierra Vista is just nowhere in the middle of nothing.
How long was your AIT?
7 months. Because we had to wait. Yeah. It really was only like 4, but we were hold unders because all the training was full. Yeah. So we had to like just sit around for like probably 2 months, 2.5 months, just chilling.
That's like one of the hardest things to explain to people that haven't been in the military is like the whole hold under and hold overs situation. Like those are some of the craziest and most like out there people you'll ever meet, right? Like especially the holdovers.
Dude, I did not want to be one of those at all.
Well, so, explain it to us. What is it?
So it's like if you go, I'll start. So with basic training, right? You go to basic training. I think Army is 10 weeks. It should be 10 weeks. I'm pretty sure it was.
I was like 9.5.
9.5. Okay.
It definitely wasn't 10, or at least that's not what they said on the brochure. Maybe by the time we graduated, it was 10.
Yeah. But like you'll show up the first day and like I remember repeatedly the drill sergeants for like the first 3 weeks. Because there's people that, they want to quit. They show up, they realize, oh, this is not what I signed up for, or they think it's not. And the drill sergeant's like, hey, the fastest way out of here is to graduate.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, well, that's real easy for you to say. We got, however many more weeks left. But like there were people that, they'd raise their hand and they'd be like, all right, I'm done. I want out. And they would be there 2 or 3 weeks longer than you were there. Right. Or like they'd leave right at the very, like we had people that, they're done at week 1, right? And they were there with us until graduation.
Why?
It's like administrative stuff.
Yeah, they won't process you out.
It's
like
punishment for wanting to leave.
Yes,
keep you there.
Yeah, well, I think kind of. They just don't give a shit about you anymore. They're like, whatever, we're not doing any extra work for you, so you can just sit here until we feel like it.
Yeah, figure out your packet. Have fun with it. True.
The paperwork just kind of sits on the desk until they decide to make it work.
So like you go to like my basic was at Fort Jackson. So after I graduated high school, went there, was there from like middle or end of June until I think September, a little bit into September. And then I went to Fort Eustis.
Med holds. Yeah, that sucks too.
Nope. Fort Eustis for my job training. I only had 8 weeks of job training, which that was also partly the reason why I chose it, because I could start that next semester of college. and still play lacrosse. So, but like my first experience, like another holdover story, like show up, get on a bus, or it was like they put us on like a really nice like transit bus. There's like, you know, TVs, and there's one stop, and they handed me this meal card. I was the meal card person that had to go in, and the place we stopped was Golden Corral. So you'd been eating army food, right, for 10 weeks, and you're like so ready to go, and we pull into this little parking lot, and it's a Golden Corral, and there's a Chick-fil-A right next to it. So I was like, but I had the meal ticket, so I had like some people just went to, you know, Chick-fil-A and bought food with their own money. I was like, all right, I guess we're going to Golden Corral. And it's probably, you know, like 60 some like boots straight out of basic training that just like walk in all full uniform, right? Walk into Golden Corral, and just like you're with the, you know, like the Golden Corral folks. You know, like kids like drinking out of the chocolate fountain, and it was so bad. I wanted
look,
to
his eye twitched when he thought about it.
It was so awful. But you know, I had to hand the card in, and like I think the tip was like you put the tip or whatever, and they're like, tip 20%. I'm like, okay, cool. So then we get back on the bus and keep driving to Virginia, and we get to Virginia, and they like let us out, and we're like, we don't know where we are. Like they just like drop you off. They're like, okay, this is your stop. And it was like at Fort Eustis, there's aviation. There's a ton of aviation training units, and then there's one transportation like whole training thing. And the aviation's in the nice new barracks, and the transportation is like often like the ghetto of Fort Eustis. But like we don't know where we are. We don't know anything. And they're like, I think a drill sergeant came up for the aviation. They're like, who are you guys? Like, where are you supposed to go? And we're like, oh, we're, you know, Echo Company. And they're like, oh, okay. And then make a call, and then a school bus shows up, and there's this drill sergeant. I don't remember his name, but he had this like comical, like high-pitched clown voice. Like he's a big dude, little bit of a gut, and he's got his drill hat on, and he's like, you can kind of tell, and like you can smell through it of like, he's trying to like play it up a little bit. And they bring us like, there's like one random like guy in the bus, right? One other soldier. And he was this holdover, and he just starts like cussing out this drill sergeant, like for like stupid stuff. Like, come on, let's hurry up. Like just like laying into him. And we're just like, what is this? Like, this is not how this is supposed to go. Like, but he was a holdover, so he was already getting out. He'd gotten like
didn't give a shit anymore.
He'd got caught with booze or vapes or stuff like that. Like he was on his way out. Like he had been there. I think he was close to a year as a holdover before he left. So like this dude was just like out of pocket. Like
oh geez.
Our holdovers were pregnant girls. Like they got pregnant in their first, second week of basic training.
Oh, basic? Oh, we had one of those. Yeah, there was like, I had like a battle boot. Like, you know, like I say this in like the Army, it's like an automatic like +2, right, on anyone's like rating. And then every week you're away for training, it's like +0.5, right? Like, because basic training, you're not supposed to do anything, right?
Yeah.
But,
it was just so crazy. Like, it was good times, but it was crazy. You grow up so much when you go into the Army, and I was already older.
How old were you when you enlisted?
I was 26. Half those kids were like 18, almost 18, 19. Like, you know, some of them they were a couple my age, but not really. And so you just had girls that were outside of their house for the first time ever, and they're surrounded by boys, and it was just like, let's go. And I was like, no.
I'm surprised the guys were able to, you know, make it work, because they gave you the dick
our
pill.
last FTX.
Oh, I love this story.
This was our last one, or second to last one, maybe. It was one of the ones where we were out there for I think it was the second to last one. It wasn't, we didn't have to hike. But it was the second to last one. And you have like you go to the place where all the scenarios are possible, right? Like you really are, you're doing fire guard at night, you're doing like all the things and walking around. Yeah, it's everything. You're not showering, you're using baby wipes, and good luck because you have 2 sets of clothes that has to last 7 days.
That last one's so like you're so ready.
You're gonna be out. It wasn't the last one. It wasn't the last one. It was one of the ones preparing us for the last one. And dude, I'm not kidding you. My battle buddy and I were on like fire guard at night, and we were just like patrolling around the area that we were supposed to patrol. And there was a couple fucking on the roof of one of the like, yeah, we were like, he goes, "What, did you hear that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I heard that." And like, we're shining flashlights and there's nothing in the building. There's nothing in the, the makeshift terrorist thing. And then all of a sudden we heard like rattling on the roof. So we go outside the building and we shine the flashlights up on the roof, and all we saw is this dude's bare ass. And it was just going. And I was like, that's gross, because we've been out here for about 4 days already, and all we got is baby wipes.
You know how you smell at the time, and you're like, that's foul,
dude. Yeah. It was so, yeah. Boots were knocking. They were definitely knocking, and we were just like, I didn't even turn them in. I didn't give a shit. I was ready. I was ready. I was done. I was trying to go get out of it, and my boy was like, "We gotta say something, like we just got to say something." I was like, okay, we got to say something, like, but I don't want to tell this story.
Yeah.
Like,
you're damned if you do, damned if you don't in that situation, right? Like, especially as you're in basic, you're like trying to like keep your head down a little bit, right? Because it's funny how basic training you kind of like learn how the world works and how different people are, because you're out of your circle and you're around just like different people that you've never lived with before, and you're forced to live with 50 of them, right, in a bay. I can't even imagine how the girls' bays were. Like when we were just talking about how like, like guys before the show about how guys let shit go, right, so quick. Like I remember one time in our bay, like Fort Jackson, it's super hot, right? Like it's South Carolina. You wake up, you have to do PT at 6:30 because otherwise like people are heat catting. And it's cool then, and then you go upstairs to shower, and by the time you walk downstairs and walk 200 meters to breakfast, you're drenched in sweat. But
it's crazy.
The bay was like super cold, right? The air conditioning ran, right? Like good, thankfully. But there was a fan, and I slept, my bunk was right by the bathroom. And when there's 50 guys, dude, right, like throughout the night, like I have to go pee once a night, right? Like that just happens. So like the fan was like white noise, and it's going, and everyone's trying to like fall asleep, and then this one kid gets up and he turns the fan off and walks away. He's like, it's too fucking cold in here. And I'm like, I'm like, the fan isn't making it colder, it's circulating air, and like it's giving me my white noise so I can go to bed. Yeah. So like I get up, turn the fan back on, and he's like, who turned the fucking fan on? And like we're like getting in each other's face for like no reason. Then it's like, okay, the fan can stay on, we're just gonna angle it this way. Like someone has to mediate it. And then like the next day, like it kind of goes away. Like we're not best friends, but like we can function at that point.
Are those type of like situations or whatever, could that put a like roadblock in what you guys are doing throughout basic training or AIT or whatever, where it slows like your progress down?
Like
because like, so
my like the clapping cheeks or the fan?
Both.
I think the fan, not really. That's just part of it, right? You got 50 guys between the ages of 18 or I mean it could be 17, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can go your junior year of high school before and go to basic and then go after. So like 17 to like, I had guys that were 30 years old in my basic training class, and your brains aren't fully developed. You have to live and coexist with all these different people. Like that's gonna happen, and that's part of it, right? Like you get out of it and you realize like, oh, like there was a meaning behind most of the bullshit that you had to go through, right? Like learning to just stand and be quiet, right? Forever. Yeah. Or like fire guard, right? You're
dude.
sleeping inside in a bay, and it's like someone has to be up every hour, and you like, why? Like, this is dumb. Like, we're inside, we're not pulling actual thing, but it's just repetitions of like learning, okay, like you have to learn how the schedule, right? And that's when cleaning was supposed to happen, right?
Yeah.
So you'd have like different, like,
Oh my God,
okay,
Simple Green. Did y'all have Simple Green?
We use that at the gym.
Oh my God, Simple Green.
We use that Simple Green shit on the floor.
I think we had Pine Sol.
You guys had Pine Sol?
Yeah.
God bless y'all. Simple Green was awful.
Corey Leonard, the fan, not really. The clapping cheeks would be an issue if they got caught.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, is like all like the little shit of like people getting mad over fire guard, or you need to do this, or you didn't clean that, or I want the fan or not want the fan, right? Yeah, Fabulosa, that was it. We had that.
Oh, good, Corey. Thank you. You know my pain.
Like, yeah, the whole like relationships things and battle booze, that never really ends well.
But the girls are the same way, though. The girls were always the same way too. They were just trying to look to get out to, you know, see the boys. You know what I mean? Half of them had probably never had a boyfriend, or like they were always monitored by their parents or something. And so you got all these like semi-buff dudes now running around. They're all tan from being outside all fucking day.
I don't know what you're talking about, buff dudes. I was so skinny when I went through. Like, looking back at those pictures of me, like I was skin and bones.
Man, Pat, I didn't rat anybody out, dude. I didn't want to. I was so tired when we found them. Like, I didn't give a fuck. But like, it was just.
Was it more fear of like, these motherfuckers are gonna make us have to stay out here longer than we planned?
That was pretty much it. And I didn't want to write anything down, but the guy that he and I were the ones walking around, he said something, and then they literally just said, "Hey, did you see what he saw?" And I was like, "Yep." And then moved it along. I signed some shit.
I mean, that's how it should go, right? Like it's what's up, buddy?
Say hi.
Yeah, you can't be here for this conversation, bro.
No. What do you want?
Like, this is not your conversation.
Have dinner first.
But it was crazy. It was that lesbian chick ratted me out.
Oh, child.
When I got out of basic, I wasn't buff. I was like 165 pounds. I was cut as fuck, but I was beyond lean. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, all these girls are seeing these dudes with these muscles, jack tan muscles, whether you were skinny or not. They were ready to go. As soon as we got to AIT and we were allowed out on the weekends, get it. Everybody was getting it. Like, everybody was getting it. So I was fat as shit back in. Well, you're skinny now, girl. Like,
that was like one of the craziest, like, I was like, oh shit, experiences was, I think it wasn't even a real ruck march. I think we were just walking back from something you walk everywhere. If there's not a bus, it's like, all right, looks like we're walking. And I think all we had was like an assault pack. So it wasn't really much, but it was hot, and it was like the middle of the day, later afternoon. And we're walking back, and like along the trail, we're maybe like 200 meters from our barracks, like ready to go inside. People start dropping, right?
Yeah.
Like heat cat passing out along the side of the road. And it's like, drill sergeant. And like, you have all these like privates that like don't know what's going on.
I locked my knees out once. I was a casualty of that shit when we were just standing there
in formation.
Yep. And I locked my knees out. I totally dropped. And then I was like, what happened?
Yeah.
I was fine, and everything was fine. But yeah, I totally did the lock your knees out thing. And that's a real thing.
100% it's a real thing. But like 2 people dropped along the way, right? And they're like, get up to the barracks, get up to the barracks. So like everyone like kind of like runs up to the barracks, scrambles, and like we're kind of like unsupervised. So it's like, okay, like we don't really have direction of what we're doing. And it's kind of like, then it's just like lost sheep. Like, can we take a shower? Can we go to sleep? Can we do this? Right? Like, it's, you just try to do whatever. But as like we came in and people were walking in, we probably had like 3 or 4 more pass out from like the start change of like 90 degrees in humidity to like 60 AC. And it was just like people were like double the amount were just dropping from just like the change of it.
Yeah, Corey, the minute people got their civvies back, once you were allowed to wear just regular clothes and go out, oh, forget it. It was on and popping.
I got this, like, I had this outfit. I think I brought it like with me because I was like, oh, this is gonna be my going out, like when I like get to AIT. And I had like khakis, like golf khakis. I think I bought it at Basic, golf khakis, and this 3/4 zip like Under Armour, and it was like hot, it was pink, like it was like bright pink, and I was like, this is like when I get out, I'm like, I'm gonna be balling when I go out and wear this. I think I wore it that one time and never have put it on again. It was so, I don't know. I have no fashion sense.
Do you have a girlfriend?
I do have a girlfriend. Yep.
Is she in the military?
No, she's not.
Oh,
No.
dude. Do you get deployed and have to leave her at home? Have you ever
I
gotten
mean, if I do get deployed, I will. Yeah.
Oh, you haven't? Okay.
I haven't been deployed yet. No. So I guess like I'll finish kind of like, we'll speed it along Army wise, but AIT, basic AIT. Then I got to college in like January of 2020. So played college lacrosse at the University of Indianapolis. It's a Division II school. They're very good for like Midwest, which is kind of weird. Like for lacrosse, it's not known for that, but they had a really good program. So I like showed up, and I hadn't played like competitive lacrosse since my last game of my senior year. And for the first,
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
the-
Jake Chapman.
for the first like 3 weeks, I just got my shit kicked in every day at practice. Like I was so bad. Like it was just terrible, right? But kind of started to like, get my feet under me and learn the pace of play of how it's different, and figured out like what I could do. And I just had to be a little bit smarter. But like was a backup the whole time I was there, but I loved it. But that first season we played like 3 or 4 games. We went on our spring break road trip, and on the spring break road trip, we're like watching the TV in the, another nice, not van, but like the big buses, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Comfortable seats, you got TVs. So like, it was like ESPN, right? That's what you watch on a sports van. And we see across, it's like the Ivy League just pulled out of March Madness. And we're like, what? Like, what is this? And then it's this conference pulls out, that conference pulls out. And we like, our coach is like, hey, like the GLVC, like our conference is having a meeting about this COVID thing. Like, we don't know what's going to happen with this next game. It might be delayed, it might be not, but we're going to practice tomorrow. And we'll see what happens. So we were in South Carolina. We practiced, and they're like, treat it like it's going to, we just lost a game. They're like, treat it like this might be it for the season. Like, we don't know what's next. So we practiced.
Wow.
They're like, hey, the game's canceled. Our school was like, hey, spring break's going to be, extended 2 weeks
I
long.
say now.
So we're like, let's
Spring break
go.
now, yeah.
Like we get back, and it's like party, spring break forever. Like, sweet. And then they're like, okay, the season's canceled. We have all this money. We're gonna like for the team, it's like we're gonna take, everyone's going out to hibachi. So the whole team goes out to hibachi. We throw like a huge kind of like last night rager, and then like everyone just kind of goes home, right? It's
That's
like
crazy.
That's crazy.
go home and wait for more. So like my first year of college was
At home.
2 months.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Get sent home, and I was like driving home, and it was like eerily weird. Like I watched The Walking Dead a lot as a kid, so I was like, is this like what, are zombies gonna start popping out? Like, why is it like empty at every gas station or stuff like this? And my mom and dad were calling me along the way. They're like, oh, like, be careful. And I'm like, what do I have to be worried about here?
Mhm.
And I
Yeah.
get back, and my mom sat me down, like I like showed in, hug, hi, set my stuff down. And she's like, just so you know, like, you're not going to be able to like go out and see your friends willy-nilly or whatnot. I'm like, listen here, like I barely got to see my friends because they're all at college when I got back from my training and whatnot, and then went to school. I'm like, that's like, that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't gonna happen. But I was home for 5 days, and I told myself, I was like, I'm gonna lose it. Like, I'm gonna go crazy if I don't have a barbell or a place to work out. Gyms were closed. So I looked up like the nearest like equipment manufacturer, and there was one in Minnesota that I could go to, and they had barbells and bumpers. And I went there. I bought a bar and like 400 pounds of bumpers. They didn't even have 45s because they're like, we've sold 90% of our
Everything.
inventory
Everything.
in the past 5 days. So I was like, that's
But
fine.
we bought Rogue. We bought the small garage
Gym
that Rogue was selling at the time.
Yeah.
And we just bought all that shit when we had to come home too.
Yeah.
Like it was
Yeah.
crazy.
I didn't have that Rogue money then. That was
I
that
get
basic
it.
training. That basic training check went to.
hadn't kicked in.
I did get one thing. I did my like. So I got the bar and the weights from them, and then I hopped on the Rogue website and like every good like okay, I want to do CrossFit thing. I was like, I need something to do pull-ups, so I bought a set of rings. I bought an ab mat Wisecrack because I'm like I need like I'm good at sit-ups, but if I'm gonna be doing sit-ups on like the
All the
concrete gym in
time.
my garage, like
Yep.
I'm getting me a Wisecrack.
Fuck yeah. I got that one too.
Oh, it is
It's
like
the best.
if you had to get like one piece of equipment, like for
That's
like
it.
$50, best piece of equipment for $50 is that. Not an ab
Absolutely.
mat because
Nope.
you're still gonna like ruin your tailbone. You need to get that one. But I got that, a weighted vest. Oh, you guys there? Is it just me? Or am I the one that's messed up? Oh boy. It is just me. Oh boy. Well, we'll see if Garrett and Colleen come back on. I'll read the chat for now. Let's see. Oh, and it is just me. Yeah. Heard that, Butter. Okay, what do you guys want to know? Anyways. Oh, let's see if the chat comes back. My favorite Spindrift flavor is the raspberry lime. That's my go-to. This one's okay. And then a sleeper is the iced tea lemon. No cross fat. Me and Danielle have not talked. But anyways, the equipment I got the AbMat Wisecrack, the rings. I got a weight vest because every good CrossFitter needs a weight vest, even if they can't do, a decent amount of regular pull-ups. I think that's it. I got a band. Jenny, can you hop on? I need help here. Favorite Rip It flavor. I've never had a Rip It. I'm a big rain guy.
There you go.
now.
Sorry.
Oh,
Hi guys.
Holy shit, dude.
Crushed it though.
Yeah, you
I
crushed
was like, I started talking. I was like, you guys are both frozen. I got to like the rings part, and then I saw.
Yeah, we're supposed to have a really bad hurricane that's not hitting us, but it's like supposed to pass by us. So we've had a lot of rain and really bad wind.
Mhm.
So which is funny because our phones work, but our Wi-Fi got cut out for a second. But great job holding down the fort, man.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised that they didn't that StreamYard didn't kick you out because we both got kicked out. So usually when we get kicked out, it ends it. But
I wonder if it's because I joined before you guys.
maybe that could be it.
or maybe because we didn't technically end the stream. So just because
Yeah.
we got kicked out, the stream was still going. So
Did. Yeah.
there you go.
Holy crap. Yeah, Joseph, it's totally Jeremy's fault. Where is Jeremy? Jeremy's missing.
Oh, thanks, Dance.
Thanks, Dance. I have to pull my
Listen, if we couldn't get back on, Jenny, I was sending you a link. You and Will could just run the show
Yeah.
for us.
Me and
like-
Jenny can chat it up. Me and
Yeah.
Jenny, yeah.
yeah, StreamYard loves straight. Yes, Pat. God. You
What
can't
did
pull
he
it up.
say?
StreamYard loves white straight men.
Young.
Young
Young.
straight white men.
The young's kind of creepy, Pat. Not gonna lie, kind of creepy.
Yeah, that's fair.
So by this time,
hmm
when you go home, you had already found CrossFit. You had already started doing CrossFit, or were you just the
I had-
typical like lifting kind of bro stash kind of thing?
No, no. I wasn't like I was never like a bodybuilder like type like back buys. Like I always kind of did.
Thank you, Corey. Appreciate you.
Compound
here
stuff.
too.
And like I had done like I remember I was working out so before like I like started doing CrossFit knowingly, I did this like my club lacrosse team, they had like they called it True Fit, right? And it was this one guy, he did CrossFit, but he was one of the coaches and he ran it, and it was like strength conditioning. Like I would say it was like CrossFit but with sports performance at the start. So we do like ladder work and stuff like that, and then it would go into okay, like we're going to learn how to deadlift or clean or back squat, strict press. Like I couldn't even do a pull up, and I think I was probably like 15 at the time, right? I was just always like a bigger kid. So like worked my way up with the band, and kind of like we do like real grunt work, metcons, box jumps, sled pushes. I remember a warm up would just be like he'd just make us go run around the parking lot. But it would be like depending on the day, if he was like mad at us, it'd be like 11 laps around this, like it felt like 200 meters at the time around this parking lot. And in Minnesota, it was going on, True Fit, there'd be like a fall session and then a winter and then a summer. So it could be like 38 degrees outside, and he's like, okay,
freezing outside.
Go run, 6. And you're like, this is bullshit. Like there's like a paint factory nearby, so you're like breathing in the fumes. So
what position did you play?
I played defense. So played long stick a little bit, like long stick midfielder when I could in high school. Like I just hop in and steal reps from my buddies when they didn't want it. But yeah, I played defense in high school and college.
Bernie Gannon.
Does it have its own games and affiliate program? Everyone's doing it.
No, there was like only like 3 of us that really like did it pretty consistently. But that's kind of where I fell in love with like training and realized like, oh, if I want to play college lacrosse, like I have to like get fit. So I kind of just like dove into it and started like looking into all the stuff. But I think after basic, I like rewatched like the 2019, like all the Buttery Bros stuff and the games doc, right? Like I was like, oh, who's this Matt Frazier guy, right? Like, and started to look into it. But I got all the equipment, the rings, the ab mat Wisecrack. You guys missed. I got the weighted vest because every good CrossFitter needs a weighted vest, even if they have no business using it.
Right.
Which
that would have been
99.9% of the time is accurate.
But now I can use it, so it's great. But so was at home, right? And like still had school, but it was online school when they didn't really know what to do for online school. So it was quite easy, right? Like you could get your schoolwork done or whatever you had to do in maybe 2 hours a day, if that, right? You're probably done by like Thursday with all this stuff. And like the teachers didn't know what to do. So got all that done. And then I was just, all right, I could work out. I'd go hang out with my buddies outside. Like parents were most of the part, like it was weird because like you have all these like college kids or like even some that are still in high school, right? That all played lacrosse, that like the parents would be fine with like all of us kids hanging out during the middle of the day outside. But like the parents wouldn't be all right with, oh, we could go hang out in someone like our buddy's basement like we normally would, right? Like there was that kind of that weird, like it's all right. And then it was for a while, it was, it shifted to, the kids could hang out. Like my mom adjusted to it pretty quick. And she's like, you can have, first it was like, hey, I had so-and-so over today. Well, were they outside? I'm like, yeah, we stayed outside. Like
it was a very strange time. It really was, where everything was fine. And then everything got shut down and you really didn't know. Like the best part for me was like, you can't go outside. The fuck do you mean I can't go outside? Like, I'm going to go outside. I cannot stay in this house. Like, I'm going to go outside. And then it was like, when you go outside, wear your mask. I'm not wearing a mask to go walk down the street. Yeah. Nobody's around me, and then there was that feeling of like, well, if you didn't have a mask on, even outside walking around, like there was that possibility. You heard stories where people were getting in trouble and would like, it was just a bizarre time. And again, the fast food chains are all still open because they're essential, but the gyms are not open. And there's no way to work around, you know, and even something where you had very small classes and unfortunately classes were limited due to the space of whatever it was. I know one gym literally had boxed out areas that you could stay in. And sadly, they could only fit, I think they could fit 8 people and you had to stay in your square. And like, they had this, you know, like scheduling where it was like, you signed up. I mean, it's insane to think about, but like, if the 3 of us are going, like I would show up at 7:45, you would show up at 7:50, Garrett would show up at 7:55. You know what I mean? Like, so you weren't right on top of each other entering it at the same time. But it's like, it was such a bizarre time. And I think we're still like getting out of it. Like people are nuts.
that was like, yeah. So that was my whole thing. But like, I would, you know, go meet up with my buddies. That's like, once we found the rhythm of it and summer hit, it was like, we didn't care anymore.
Yeah, Trish.
Farmville.
That was
a
fire.
Candy Crush and
Ron doesn't let me use the computer.
Farmville was fire.
I was a Candy Crush and Family Feud. That was my shit. My aunt and I used to play Family Feud during COVID. That was the shit. Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of bizarre things going on.
Yeah.
All right, before we run out, I like put IndyCar up on the thing, but I guess we're not.
We're talking about CrossFit. We're talking about his military days.
How much time do you guys got?
Probably about another 30 minutes or so.
Okay.
Do you want to do the? Do you want to send me the?
Oh yeah, I'll send you guys that. That's good.
You want to watch it?
Where is it?
CrossFit.
It's nothing crazy, but it's kind of funny, and we can kind of move to a different story. We can move to more current.
Okay.
And then maybe someday we can circle back to that.
Oh boy.
Listen, Pat. The arrows at the supermarket
were crazy.
Fucked a lot of people
don't
up.
Pull it up. I got one COVID thing real quick.
Fucked a lot of people up where like fights were almost happening because people were walking down the wrong aisles because of the arrows. Go ahead, Will.
That was me. So when I was home, wasn't working, right? Like didn't really have, you couldn't go get a job anywhere during it for the most part. But I forget what it was called, Instacart, right? The grocery delivery.
Yes.
And for the first like 2 months of it, if you could pick up any day, anytime, you could find an Instacart order for $50, right? And you could go shop for half an hour and drop it off and make $50. So I was doing Instacart, maybe a couple hours every other day. And I told my mom at one point, and you would have thought I told her that I was selling crack cocaine to kids. Because she was just so, like, the hysteria was so much at that point, like within that first month, that she was just like terrified. And like she quickly, like, it was like probably like maybe a month and a half and then 2 months, and like she let her guard down and kind of like calmed down real quick about it and realized like, this is nuts, like what's going on. But yeah, the Instacart grocery thing, like I'd go in, you know, without a mask, have my headphones on, and I'd just be like, all right, shopping, grabbing. I didn't care that I'm like, what do you mean I can't go down this aisle? Like,
I stopped we stopped giving a crap. Like, I think as soon as we started seeing people driving in their cars alone with masks on.
They still do.
Colleen and I were like, yeah, nah, we're good. It wasn't that long. We fell for it for a little while, but we were like, no, this is too dumb.
Yeah.
Pat, when someone yelled at me for walking the wrong way, I just start coughing uncontrollably.
That's good.
All right. I saw the title of this. I can only assume this is going to be amazing, dude.
Oh boy.
Yep. All right, here we go. Let's see what happens.
Tell me you're still doing upright rows, dumbbell shrugs, and Arnold presses. This is the worst way as a lesbian to build muscle.
What? News update. Lesbians build muscle differently.
Lesbians, don't tell me you're still doing.
I like Arnold press. What the hell is that? Like Arnold press is one of my favorites. What are you talking about?
Like, Like,
And this chick is crazy. This chick
I
is
like
nuts.
the comment though. You can't build muscle as a lesbian without a Subaru or an 8-year-old boy's haircut.
Dang.
I don't have a Subaru, but I might have an 8-year-old boy's haircut. That might be fair.
I saw that like the other week, and it's funny. I personal trained this lesbian couple, and I saw it like as I was going to like drive to their house and train them, and then I was like, okay, I have to show them this, and I didn't know how it would go for sure. Like we joke around and stuff, but I showed them it and they loved it. So I figured that would be our icebreaker, but we had Yawn to do that instead.
Yeah, right. No, that's hysterical. I've seen this chick before. It was something else. It was
the same thing. It was
was
pretty
it-
much the same thing that like lesbians can only do this, or as a lesbian don't do this. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Okay.
People in everything, right? Like find your niche with like fitness in particular, or anything, any job, right? You have to find a niche to like stand out. And it's funny how like, it's like, oh, it's really easy to be like, oh, I do training for women, or right, I do training for pickleball players, or insert whatever different thing, right, to like make your thing differently, which like that's why I think like CrossFit's so great, is because generally it can apply to almost anyone, right? And you can modify or slightly like tweak certain things if you have a certain goal. So like leading to the IndyCar thing, I studied exercise science throughout college, but like as I was doing that, I was getting more and more doing CrossFit more while I was playing lacrosse, and getting like I got my L1 the summer of 2022, went to the games. I read everything I could about it, like as I was still doing my curriculum with exercise science, and kind of like would see certain things of like, well, this is dumb. Why are they teaching us this certain thing? Or
well, speaking of dumb, hold on. Dick Butter, lesbians definitely don't need to train the shake way.
I think it's more like a grip trainer like situation, right? Like, have you guys
Yo,
seen
our hands are strong, bro. Strong.
we have this thing at work. It's like it's these little there's rings, right? It's like a green one, a blue one, and an orange one, right? And it's this like miniature donut, like thick ring, and then you have this little hand thing where it's like you could put one around each of your fingers, so you can do grippers and extensors.
I was like, where is he going with
like
colored rings? I really wanted to know.
Right?
And his fingers.
with changing tires and whatnot, like grip strength is a huge thing, right? And like elbow health. And I had a PT tell me once and explain to me with like, I was having some wrist problems. She's like, you need to get one of these sets, because like there's two ways to train grip. It's like heavy carries, right? Or hangs. But then also there's all the muscles within your hand that like are super small. And at a certain point, if you use too much of a load, you can't train them, right?
The
so you
story just keeps getting
worse.
funnier.
I know it's bad where we started, but there is a little education in there of like, come on now. You guys are supposed to have your heads out of the gutter.
Not when you start the conversation with lesbians. Like,
And then you said load.
You said rings and load. I was like, pause, bro. Pause.
Blame the chat. It's all the chat's fault.
I'm not looking at it. I don't even have the chat pulled up right now.
Oh, dude, bro.
I don't know. I can't do it both of them up. If I pull the chat up, I can't see you guys.
Man.
He said something about small muscles in your hand. I'm like, yeah, I know.
And he just kept going like this.
Oh shit, that was good. Okay, all right. That took an hour and 4 minutes. Thank you, Will Plummer.
Yeah, you're good.
You lasted the longest.
Until what?
Until this humongous release.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, Indy
All right.
cars.
Yeah,
That's
Indy
where you're
cars.
talking.
Let's
Go
go.
ahead.
Come on.
So,
Oh, are you old enough to drink? Am I old enough to? Are you old enough to be having this conversation right now?
come on, Pat, stop it. But was kind of like, growing more and more into like CrossFit, the methodology and all of the journal articles, and realizing, right, like some of the things in like our like school exercise science, right? It's like, okay, like these things don't make sense, or they're not right. It's not applicable to actual things, or it's not the whole picture. So kind of fell in love more with the training and the coaching side. In my senior year, I decided to kind of step away from lacrosse, and not play my senior year, and just I started coaching CrossFit at a not affiliate, and like, training to compete more and doing all that, right? I thought I was going to be, the next Matt Frazier when I stopped playing college, or the next Jason Hopper. That's who I wanted to be, because he went from like playing football
Yep.
to then the next year he's like at semifinals. That hasn't happened yet. But my senior year, you have to do like a capstone internship for exercise science, which I think that's one of the best things that like my university gave me, is like, we did do a lot of, I think more than others, of like hands-on stuff. And they make you go do an internship at the end of it. And we just have like emails get sent out all the time. You can either go find your own, or there's like the internship coordinator. She'll like reach out to places and get these internships lined up, but sent it out of like, hey, Chip Ganassi Racing is looking for, a human performance intern. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like, I knew nothing about racing. And I was like, all right, what's Chip Ganassi Racing? And I was like, oh, they won the Indy 500. Like, that's pretty cool. Like, how much do you get if you win the Indy 500? And I was like, oh, wow, $5 million. Like,
Yeah.
there's like some serious money in this thing. Like, sure, I'll set up a phone call, right? And the phone call turned from me just thinking I was going to be asking questions to like, hey, let me put our director on for a chat, right? And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then it's an on the phone interview, right?
Oh.
So have the interview, and they're like, hey, do you want to come out? Next step is you come see the shop. So go out, see the shop, kind of have like an in-person interview, get to see around. They were building at the time, our gym, and like it was all torn apart, and they're explaining how, they're going to start prioritizing more so of like really worrying about the crew, right? Their fitness, and health and all that. And I was like, okay, I was sold. Showed up the first day, and like, we have this, it's a great facility. It's $1 million facility. And like, I was like, if I get a job offer to work here, like, I'm going to take it, right? I'm going to do what I can to get there. And interned, throughout the semester. And at the end of it, was like 2 weeks before, and like, I thought I was going to be brought on as an assistant. But my boss, like the director, sat me down and he's like, hey, like, good news, bad news. And he's like, good news, you fucking killed your internship. Bad news, it's not in the budget right now, right? Like, it just isn't going to work out. Like, keep your phone on, right? Like, might be in the future. And I was like, okay, like, great. Like, I didn't have any other plans really lined up. I just knew I wanted to coach, right? Like, something. It was coach that. I was going to go coach CrossFit, right? I was going to make it work. I was going to do something. And then the last day of my internship, I showed up, and the strength, the guy who had my job, Jason Nunn, he's now the strength coach at Mooresville High School. He was at Indiana State before, was like, hey, just so you know, I let them know yesterday that I accepted a job starting in August, back at Mooresville, so they can figure out what to do with you. And then the day after my internship ended, I got the full-time job offer. So
That's awesome.
it was like kind of, it's a cool story for me of like, you think it's going to go one way, and then it's like, no, that door's closed. And then God just kind of opens it right back up. And it's like, bam, like you just had to keep doing good things. And right, like when it closed, instead of like, I could have thrown my hands up in the air and, not tried as hard, or not given a shit.
That's, here, I'll share this. I know that most everybody's probably seen this already, but this is so cool. Like, what is it? NASCAR, Indy, and Formula One?
Yeah.
Those three.
So those are the three different types of racing. IndyCar is how I kind of explain it, like, to people that don't necessarily know, like, what it is, or like they know NASCAR and F1. Essentially, it's like primarily the North American F1, right? IndyCar's been around forever, right? The Indy 500 has been going on for over 100 years. I think this year might have been the 108th running of the Indy 500.
Okay.
And it's the biggest spectacle in racing, right? We have every year 400,000 people show up to this small town in Indiana, Speedway, Indiana, and show up to this race.
Crazy.
And and like there's other races too throughout the year. Like there's a whole championship season, but that race is the biggest one. It's the one everyone
I have
wants.
heard of the race. I'd never watched it before, but I've heard of IndyCar. I just didn't know that
I thought they were all the same.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. That's the race everyone wants to win. So,
are the cars the same as Formula One, or is it just a different track, or are they different cars?
Different cars. Similar because they're open wheel. No, you're good. They're open wheel, but it's, I don't know where I'm going with this.
Oh God, NASCAR. Oh God, Joseph. NASCAR is for rednecks. Indy and F1 is bougie.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily call I definitely think we're bougier than NASCAR, but it's not. It's like everyday people, right? Like tickets cost, I don't know. It varies based on the track, but like it's not like you're buying an F1 ticket and it's $300 or $400 for the weekend, right? Like there's families, and it's cool when you go out to these different places and you see how much you'll see fans that like just travel around for the series. It's kind of like, CrossFit, right? Like people that are retired that just get RVs and they just like follow the circuit around, right? Or once people work in the series, they come back and they just come watch and hang out. Like people just love racing. And I had no idea. I didn't see the appeal for it until I was in it.
So what happens now? Like, what do your dude won, right? Like your driver won.
Yeah. So
now what? Do you guys fly in like fancy car or fancy planes now, and like you?
Oh, Patty
Oh
Lang.
shoot, Pat Lang.
Thank you.
Hi, girls.
Wow.
Love you. Wow, Pat. Thank you, bro.
Appreciate you.
That's awesome. He's a good dude, even though he's creepy.
He's a good dude. He's a good dude.
So, yeah, I guess basically, like when I came on, right, I was there for that first summer. So that was the season of 2023. We won the championship that year and finished so Alex Pillow won the championship that year, and Scott Dixon, our other driver, I believe he finished second that year.
Oh.
So that's a huge year. We did not win the Indy 500 that year. One of our drivers finished second in that race. But then the next year, Alex had another great year and he won the championship again. So then this year was, okay, he's going for making the three-peat, right? Winning 3 years in a row. And we had we've had an insane year, but he won, I think so far we've won 8 races out of 17.
Oh, wow.
And at the start of the year, I think he won 3 in a row, finished second, and then won another 2. Like it was just nuts, right? Won the Indy GP, which is the race that's in Indianapolis in May. It's a road course, and then went on to win the 500, which that's bigger or as big as winning the championship. And it's just nuts. And it was his first oval win ever. So there's a couple different types of race tracks. There's there's a street course where you're driving through the streets of a city, right? And they make a racetrack out of that. There's a road course, which it's like, okay, we have this plot of land and it's always going to be a racetrack. Mm-hmm. And then there's ovals, right? So it's the, driving around in circles, right? That type of a racetrack. So Alex had never won on an oval before, and Indy is the biggest and the hardest oval to win at. And his first one that he won was there. So that day was just insane. If you
what do you do you have to be is it like F1? I mean, I guess they all are, but this is probably stupid, but are they all billionaires that own the cars, that own the teams?
So F1 it's $1 billion team.
You
budget.
have to be. You literally have to be a billionaire.
Per car or per team is $500 million, right?
Oh, God,
IndyCar is millionaires, smaller, right? A little step down from that. There's just not as much money in it. But I mean, it's still.
You think you can turn left better than me?
you still have to either be if you're going to be a driver, you either have to be really, really good and the best and have some, you know, serious talent or wealthy friends, or you have to have some money, right? Like it's not like, but they do it their whole lives, right? They start in go-karts.
Yeah.
And then, right, like go-karting is not cheap. And then, you know, they move
So I always
up
thought
to,
like they either have to come from a family that's already had racing in it. They like have to, a lot of these guys have come from like just really wealthy like you can't start this out. Like I couldn't just put my kid right now in go-karting.
it would be your life, right? If your kid had, if like there are stories, and I haven't fully learned it. I've heard parts of it, but like Scott Dixon, one of our drivers, he had some pretty, I think, humble beginnings, and had some like essentially like investors, right, that helped pay his way to get over here. And then you know, like now he's just he's like the Tom Brady of IndyCar. But
Oh, this is a good one. Here you go. Yeah. KDL is being a driver athletic. I was going to ask the same thing. Cause like the pit crew obviously has to be athletic. They got to like go on a dime and whatever, but being a driver, is that like endurance? Are they like boxers? Do they just run all day?
Yeah. So like how I look at like a driver's fitness, and I've only worked with a couple, but just like general from like a practitioner, like looking at them, they have to have insanely strong necks, right? Like if you look at the headshots of all the drivers, you'll see these thick necks, right, and these huge traps, and they're, because of all the, like they're turning so hard and so fast, the G's, right? Like they have to fight to keep, when they're driving the ovals, right, they're fighting to keep their head up so they can look, right, the whole time for hours on end, right, with like maybe 6 seconds of reprieve, or when you're on the straightaway, right, you can kind of relax a little bit. So they have really strong necks, really strong upper body, because in IndyCar, there's not power steering, right? So they're right doing an ice. It's like, okay, go hold a 45-pound plate or a 25-pound plate in front of you with bent arms.
Yeah,
how long can you do it for, right? Like it's
not
just
very long.
Yeah, not very long.
I don't even think I lift it up with straight arms. I just keep it close to me when I'm going to put it anywhere.
Yeah. So really strong upper body, like really good muscular endurance, and stamina. And then they have to have like, you know, core strength and low back strength, because like, you know, it's physically demanding there too.
How long is an actual race? Is it like 2 hours, an hour, hour and a half?
They vary from like, you know, like short end, maybe an hour and a half, to the 500, you're there for probably all of 3 hours.
Ugh.
Oh yeah, my back would be on fire.
Yeah.
There's
being
no
in
way.
that car though,
Nope.
like I would be like claustrophobic. Like I would just want to get out.
So like on the time domain side, right? That's where the engine comes into play, right? Like they have to be very aerobically fit, right? Obviously there's differences from some to the other. Like all of our drivers, for the most part, like they're studs, right? You can kind of look around the series and see some that you're like
yeah,
maybe a little bit less of a stud, right? But I mean, they're still driving cars, so they don't need to be triathletes. But the fitter you are, just like anything, then it's going to be the easier to drive, right? It's one less thing to think about. Oh, I'm tired, or my body's starting to fail me, right? They're thinking about the race, or what type of fuel number they have to hit, or right, like when someone's up on the side of them, they're able to react quick enough to where they can either make a pass, or right, like do the right move, or not get hit, or something like that. So that's kind of like driver fitness, is it's really strong neck, really in enduring, and then really strong upper body and enduring, and then also like reaction time. I didn't mention that's huge, right? And then just being able to process and stuff like that, and then having a good engine.
Yeah, somebody said that, Sean. Super quick reaction times.
Yep.
Let me ask one more question, and then I'll ask all the chat's questions, and then we'll bounce out of here. We're obviously gonna have you on again because you're fun as fuck, and this is too much fun for me. Once they set the car for the season, I think I kind of saw this and sort of understand this for Formula One, but once they make the engine and whatever, don't they test the car a little bit and then they can make some tweaks to it? But then once that car is the way that it is, it has to stay that way.
So IndyCar is a stock series in the sense that all of the cars, right, are relatively the same, and there's only certain things that the teams can change on their own, right?
Okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's where you get the difference amongst teams, right? There are certain things that they can change and modify and make their own to find performance, right?
Okay.
But then also like there's like rules of like within the setup, right, of how the car is supposed to be set up. Here's your your upper end boundary of how high the car can be, and here's how low it can be, or here's how much it can weigh, or how light, like how heavy or how light it can be, and all the little specific things, right? Like that's what the mechanics and the crews work on, right? So like people don't think about that when like the driver goes out there and like, oh, why does Alex Palou or Max Verstappen or whatever, like NASCAR, it's very much stock, but like we'll stick with IndyCar. Why does Alex Palou win 8 races, right? And I credit just like the crew, like they're meticulous. All of our crews are meticulous, but like they're looking over every little detail, and it's doing the right thing or doing the same thing the right way every time, right? Like buttoning up all the little things, doing each little process right. Like there's so much effort and detail and work that goes into these cars, and changing it and modifying it based off what the engineers say or find, or right, like we'll have a practice on track, right, and the cars, there's no points on the line or anything out there. The cars are just running laps to find speed, right?
Yeah.
Does
it matter during the season? Can they change something, like tweak something? They just have to stay within the specifications of the, okay. So they can try all year long to make the car faster.
So the car will go out, run a lap, right? Or run a couple laps, come back in, and then say there's a practice is 45 minutes. They're probably making changes on the car 4 or 5 times. So the car comes in, pits, right? Guys are getting their tools out, making little tweaks, changing it by whatever, right? To try to find speed, right?
Okay.
And this year I've started it's kind of like, it is a privilege, but it's like kind of like a somewhat of a BS job, right? Someone has to hold the umbrella, right? Like over the driver while they're sitting in the car, and like I'm out there sitting with my like dumb helmet on, like everyone else is like the cool
holding the umbrella,
like RV thing, like, or like like a motorcycle helmet or something like
Yeah.
that, and I have my like little dumb half cap holding the umbrella, right? But this year doing it, I've kind of got a new appreciation for just like looking at all the little work and how much work they're able to do in a short period of time, right?
And
like
you have to take care of those guys. Like they have to be okay to do the work.
Well, the umbrella's for Alex in the car.
Oh, okay.
The
Gotcha.
guys
The
don't get an
driver.
umbrella.
The umbrella's for the driver. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Still a very, very important person.
Yeah, man. Take care of the driver.
That needs to be taken care of. So
Yeah.
All right. Let me ask you some of these crazy ass questions. Bernie Gannon, was Danica Patrick legit or just novelty?
Before my time, I don't know.
I would assume she'd have to be legit to be able to even finish the race, right?
I think, yeah. And any time a driver, gets
She had
in
to
one
be
of those
fit
cars
enough to,
and doesn't crash it, it's impressive.
yeah.
Who cares, Bernie? She was hot. Kenneth DeLapp, would Taylor and Bryson say driving's athletic?
That conversation today, that argument, like I was listening to that earlier today in the car, and it was
I haven't heard it yet,
because
so
they both like flipped tones on each other too, and like
Don't they always?
They're great.
I think I agree with like
always.
athleticism is like your ability, like how I've described it to people is like you're at gym class, right? And if you were to like pick, like the most athletic person would be the kid you'd pick every time, regardless of what sport you're doing, right? Because you just know they're like, yeah, they're going to be good enough, right? Like after that all-star basketball player gets picked, it's the one next that, he can
Everybody
play
wants
wiffle
on the
ball,
team.
Yeah.
right? They're going to run a fast, whatever, right? Like that's athleticism of like the Swiss Army knife. And that can be fitness, but like also it's just like, it's almost like a subjective thing too, right? Like they look athletic when they move and do things.
Megan, craziest wreck you've ever seen? Where everybody was okay. I need positive vibes right now.
This year at the 500, it was kind of like a war of attrition So like as we're racing, a couple pit boxes in front of us, I think it was in front or behind us. One of the drivers came in and like they're coming in hot, and he like locked his brakes up, and like there's like a concrete wall that's pit wall, and the driver's supposed to come in and stop, and then the pit stop happens. He came in and just like locked his brakes, nosedived, and just like ran into 3 of his crew members.
Oh
Damn.
no!
Like
dude.
it looked. I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I saw the car hit this dude's knee and put it into the wall, and then they're like, "Oh, it's just a sprain. It's just a sprain." I'm like, I don't know how.
Oh no,
Like,
dude.
thankful that it was like, and like everyone was all right, but like I'm like, that was nuts. And then like another car, like with the gas man went in, and like fuel started to like spill out, and then it was like, and then it ignites, right? And so you just see this like waft of fire, right? Like go from the car, spread into the pit box. So it's just like,
damn, dude.
The 500 this year was crazy. If you guys have, I don't know, you could go back and watch just the last couple laps. And
I'll go back and
see
watch
me
it.
a little bit like losing my mind. Like we kind of all circled together after the last pit stop, and we're like I was crouching down on the ground, and we were just all close to each other. Like one of our tire changers, Devin, he like holds his hand out. He's like, "God damn it, Steve, I need you to hold my hand." And it's like, funny. There's this like, Devin's like, 24, young kid. He's so funny. And he's like to our older fueler, like, "Hold my hand." And they're like, he's squeezing his hand for the last like 10 laps of the race.
That's so funny.
All right, dude. Thank you so much. We're gonna
Yeah.
go.
Guys.
Our kid's gonna start knocking on this door.
Well,
but
our 4-legged dog.
yeah.
That's what we keep looking
He's-
at. He's
he's-
just circling us because it's dinner time.
Yeah,
So
it's
our
dinner
dog
time
is
for-
here.
4-legged dog. Like,
Our dog.
our dog.
Come here.
why would you call it a 4-legged dog? Do you have a 3-legged dog?
No.
Oh, okay.
She was
I
gonna
meant
say our
4-legged
child.
and I said 4-legged dog.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Copy.
Our
All right.
child with a tail.
But thanks everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us tomorrow. And if you haven't seen The Boys, it actually was a really good podcast from before hours with Lauren.
I gotta go listen.
Thank you.
I loved
She was great.
the energy that the 3 of you guys had. I know
Yeah.
you guys don't like energy or vibes or whatever, but
But
like,
I was
loved how much she was like giving it back.
Yeah, she was
You know what I
awesome.
mean?
She had a
So-
good time. It was fun.
So go check that out.
And then we have
Tomorrow.
tomorrow Sevon, and then we'll be on Sevon's podcast on Sunday with Jenny. So
But time is different.
tomorrow
what-
night's at 7.
Yeah,
What are
so
you
it's
guys
late
talking about tomorrow with Sevon?
with Sevon.
Whatever
Games.
comes up, the games.
Games. We were at the
stupid
games
shit,
with him, so
like, whatever.
Oh, that'll be cool.
everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
Sev's great to have on. So
We talk about everything.
yeah,
Tell him hi. Ask him about his hat.
I
wanna
will.
hear
Well,
his
come hang out
perspective
with
of that
us.
Story.
come hang out with us if you're awake.
Will's
at
big deals
7.
now. Will is big deals.
If it's
He
not
has
past
drivers
bedtime,
to
we-
train.
You know,
We will be driving tomorrow to Milwaukee, so maybe I'll tune into it.
there you go.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right, guys.
All right, guys.
Thanks, y'all.
See you
Thanks for
later.
hanging
See
in.
you guys. Have a good night.
Deuces.
Thanks for having me on.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.